All right, so the other day someone asked me, why in the world do you set a minimum salary when you are making your lineups for all things DFS? That's what I'm going to cover today on the next installment of the Golden Mike Minute. Let's go. All right, here we are. We're going to talk about it, and you're looking at just me. That's right. I'm not showing you anything on the screen today. I'm just going to talk. And one of the reasons why I like to set a minimum salary, specifically for a sport like NBA, is because you've heard this before. You've heard this phrase that NBA is just so much more predictable. NBA is more projectable. Whatever it might be from whomever might have said it, they're kind of accurate here. It's an easier sport to project and predict because you have a fairly set type of rotation for each team. You have a certain amount of minutes this person will often play per game. They'll get this much usage on average per night. And if player A or B is out, player C gets elevated into this type of role. And we have these constants, and these constants become more consistent and more predictable as the season progresses. So for me, what I don't want to do is leave $1,500, $1,200 on the table, end up with a guy who's $5,600 at shooting guard when you can end up with a $7K shooting guard instead. And while that $5,600 guy may or may not be able to outscore the $7K guy on any given night, which, of course, we all know can and will happen nightly, our goal is to take the higher probability. And believe it or not, that 7K player is priced at 7K over that 5-6 guy priced at 5-6 for a reason. And while you might not be able to see it in the heat of the moment, over the long run, if you are always trying to eat up as much of that salary as you can, you're going to build a higher floor and higher ceiling lineup. Think about it this way. Let's say you enter the $3 clutch shot on FanDuel every single night for the course of the season. Let's say there's 100 slates, just to make the math super easy. You have, who knows, how much money is in play every single, $450 in play nightly if you maxing that out. Let's say you put a minimum salary of $59,500 on FanDuel, or $59,300, $59,700, whatever that is. That number is arbitrary to some extent. And what you do is maybe you're chopping off 10 lineups or so that every night are crunched on Fantasy Cruncher using the Team RiseorFall projections. And you crunch out your lineups, and I don't know, maybe you have 10 lineups per night that are made, 15 lineups per night that are made under $49,000. So leaving $1,000 or more on the table. What you do is you set a minimum salary of whatever that arbitrary number is, $49,600, $49,400, or whatever. And what it does is it'll produce all of your lineups above that number. That means no lineup will have less money left over. Now here's my take and why I think you should do this. Because what ends up happening is you have an extra 15 lineups using more salary. And let's say you can hit 50% of those. Or just let's use a flat number, 10 of those 15. So 10 more cashing lineups per night. Doesn't sound like a lot, right? But think about it. Even if all 10 of those lineups were min cashes, that's $5 in that clutch shot. That's 10 times 5, that's $50. All right? Well, not bad. Doesn't make a huge difference over the course of the night. But what happens if you do that 100 times? Are you going to hit 10 more lineups per night every time? No, not at all. But best case scenario, you're making an extra $5,000 over the season. What if it's only 20% of the time you hit 10 more? Okay. Who would not want an extra $1,000 over the course of the season in their bankroll? A lot of people, that makes a big difference for. So whatever you're doing, you're raising your floor and your ceiling by using some type of minimum salary in your lineup. You're using more up. You're going to have more optimal built lineups. And often in NBA, the most optimal route to victory is the optimal way, with small tweaks and pivots. I hope you all have a good day. Stay blessed, and I'll see you on the inside, my friends.